Words appear. No movement is perfect. A woman signs.
Well, really, not many deaf people joined the demonstration. I think there were only about 5 or 6 of us. That was all, compared with a number of other disabled people. There were so many. You know, a lot of wheelchair users, a lot of individuals who were blind, who had cerebral palsy.
This 504 demonstration was perhaps the first and last best time that deaf and disabled people got together about something. So I felt very strongly that I was a bridge in that situation between people who were deaf and people who were disabled, and that they, perhaps for the first time, because we were all living together, they were talking about each other's concerns. And I could see disabled people finally kind of getting it. You know, I don't think they really understood the difference before, why deaf people felt different. But I'm not sure deaf people felt that same level of inclusion. To be honest, just even the fact that deaf people weren't involved in the decision to take over the building, that how they found out about it was through me. When I found out about it outside the building, we're going in, you know, tell the deaf folks we're going in. So it's a good example of how people who were leading this charge didn't think to have deaf people involved necessarily in the planning of it.
I think that the biggest split in the movement has always been between people with all disabilities and people with cognitive disabilities, because people with all other disabilities, whether it's blind or deaf or, you know, physical disability, have always seen that they're more like everyone else in society than people who are cognitively impaired.
In the big organizing meetings, a lot of it felt like if you couldn't see, you couldn't be seen. And most of the planners were people who had been planning for a long time, who were older. A lot of them were chair users.
Some meetings I was privileged to go to, and some meetings I were not privileged to go to, and some meetings I knew about, and some meetings I didn't know about. I was supposed to be a spokesman for 504, and because I wasn't included in a lot of stuff for 504, I was not very happy with that, because I gave it my all in my heart.
I think the people in wheelchairs mainly ran the show, mainly the women, although I think the guys really tried hard to feel like they were in charge. The disability rights movement has been one movement where women have pretty much had an equal role, I think.
The movement was, the leadership was definitely not diverse. You know, it's white women in wheelchairs for the most part. So that was, I guess, that's one of its weaknesses. Participants, it seems to me, were relatively diverse across most of the various parameters. But I think everybody's objection and concern and wanting to tell the, you know, the other story is that it's so much a white people's movement that it's come under a certain amount of fire, I think, because of that.
Words appear. In order of appearance: Joanne Jauregui, 504 protester. Joe Quinn, ASL interpreter and 504 protester. Arlene Mayerson, disability rights attorney. Karen Rose, 504 protester. Dennis Billups, 504 protester. Bonnie Regina, 504 protester. Mary Lou Breslin, 504 protester. Patient No More is a project created by the Paul K. Longmore Institute on Disability at San Francisco State University to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the ADA, patientnomore.org. Interviews recorded in 2014 by undergraduate students from Journalism 321, History 484, and staff from the Paul K. Longmore Institute on Disability at San Francisco State University. Edited by Hong Cheng. Audio description by Audio Eyes. Description voiced by Tobias Forrest. Copyright Paul K. Longmore Institute on Disability at San Francisco State University, 2015.